welcome back everyone. I'm Setharoth, and today we are diving into the first, I think of this as kind of an extended tutorial. The cool thing about Larian Studios is a lot of these levels that can be very challenging will have little tricks that you can take advantage of to kill things faster, take people by surprise. They've really built a lot of versatility into this system so that you can be creative. And I'm going to show you a couple of the tricks of the trade. So first off, we're going to be using the dash action.
Time to press ahead.
Head on over here, at least as far as we can on our one turn. Are we not in turn-based mode? We are not in turn-based mode, so now we are. Okay, so turn-based mode is a fantastic way to coordinate the efforts of your party members so that you can make sure that when you start combat, you are exactly where you intended to be.
Out of sight.
For example, we're going to have to jump on down here, and then go into a little hide and move into the shadows. You're less likely to be detected if you are in the shadows.
Move with care.
This is the chapel entrance. This is the first.
My faith will guide
It can be
me.
a difficult fight if you just dive on in. However, I'm going to show you a couple of tricks that not only make the fight a little easier, but also show you some of the mechanics of the game that are worth knowing about.
Don't wanna think about why my eyes are itching.
Well, is he just about capped out? Yes, he is. Okay.
Was someone there?
So once you end all 4 turns of your party members, then the environment takes their turn. So if guards are on patrol, or they're talking to each other, or creatures are moving, they do that on their own turn, and then you're back into this turn-based, out-of-combat system. Meanwhile, we're just going to go ahead and do a nice little sneaky sneak over here. And let's see. We're going to do this one more time just to make sure that everyone is optimally
Any
placed.
mistakes.
She's going to be our tank, so she's going to be jiving in once our cover is officially blown. We're going to go ahead and hide. The nice thing about rogues is he gets some extra utility on his bonus action, right? So he can dash and hide, and we can actually dash as an action and dash as a bonus action, which means he can do a lot of movement in one round. So what we're going to be doing here is taking the hide action
They won't see me coming.
and then heading over here. I want to get closer to him, so we're going to be using our action to dash and give ourselves just a little more movement. Now we're just about optimally placed to get the party started. So the first thing we're going to do, this is a good chance to show you guys some of the actions that are
Haven't
available.
seen anyone but us. It's just wilderness out here.
Yeah, just wilderness. Just wait. So we have the option of throwing items or weapons. We have the dash action, which doubles your movement. We have disengage, which is a way to get out of melee weapon range without being instantly hit or attacked. Help action is good for removing status effects, picking up people that are prone, waking up people that are asleep, and then improvised melee weapons, so you can attack with like boxes and stuff. But what we're really looking at here is shove, which is a bonus action, which we're going to shove right here. Down he goes. All right, now before we do anything else, we've got to get the rest of our party into the fight by shooting this little bit here. These 2 guys are down for the count. Now we only have a couple of opponents instead of like 4. We're going to go ahead and run on Shield of Faith as a bonus action. And now she has announced her presence and the party has started in earnest. Let me just make sure that everyone is on the list. It looks like Gale is not yet in combat. He should still have mage armor up. He does. And let's just keep him in stealth because he can drop a super spell if things get a little... Oh, is he not... Apparently he's not in combat yet. Cool. Alright, let's just get the party started then. So we're going to run our rogue behind some cover. Hopefully that'll keep him safe. This guy, since we surprised the enemy, they lose a turn, which is very, very useful when you decide to get into or out of trouble. Let's see, make sure I can... She's in the way, so I can't quite get past her like can jump past her. I'm trying to get behind some
Find a way
cover.
forward.
I do have some extra health from the last time I killed something.
Ready.
Temporary health, which is going to help.
Got to move.
And then she's going to be drawing fire with her shield and shield of faith, and the fact that she's equipped with a shield will hopefully raise her defenses enough to avoid the next couple of hits. Meanwhile, let's see. I wonder if we could get off a nice shot. There we go. Yeah, 6 points of damage, not bad. And hopefully he is far enough out of sight. At least this guy won't be able to attack him. The mage might still be able to. We'll see what happens. Okay, that's our tank. She managed to maintain concentration on her... Oh, no, she lost Shield of Faith. That's lovely. This will be fun. So, remember, my Eldritch Blast pushes stuff. Ooh, I can reapply my Hex. Yeah, let's do that. Let's... And then send him flying, because right now he's at the top of the stairs. Okay, only one left. Now we get behind this big
My faith will protect
statue,
me.
and let's see. So this is a neat little trick. Right now she's in a pile of acid, so if she moves through that, she's going to take damage. But if you use a jump action, boop, now we're okay. And we're going to get her nice and tight to these stairs, so hopefully this mage doesn't have enough movement to get around and shoot at her. We'll see what happens next. She might have line of sight on Astarion, on our rogue, but we shall find out. Hello. Okay, well, if she's not doing anything, I think we can still do something. Let's go ahead and just use the dash action. I don't know why he's still stuck in stealth, but let's get him behind cover. That's kind of funny, actually. He never entered combat.
Let's
Well, we can just
finish
have
this. On I go.
a friend run up here and say hi. One option, if you're using a melee character, oftentimes you'll have to use the dash action to get into melee range. The nice thing about doing this is, notice I burned my bonus action and my action just to get up this close. What this will allow me to do is if the enemy tries to move away, then I'll get an attack of opportunity, and that's a free melee hit. So that could help. Let's go ahead and bring a Astarion over there, because I think we still have line of sight. Target outside normal range. Can we... Let's see. Is there a way to get on top of the box? No, we've already lost our jump action, huh? Dash, hide, disengage. Nope. Okay. Oh, there we go. Yep. She is in regular, good old-fashioned range. And... nothing like a good
Nothing important is
one
ever
shot
easy.
to the head to say hello, how you doing? Yeah, we're not going to be able to reach her. Let's just switch to... Oh no. Sorry for this mage. Like, all she had time to do was put on her armor. Oh, she dodged. Okay.
Time to push my luck again.
Alright, I guess we will be running up here to
Time
say
to
hi.
press ahead.
Talk to me.
There's our Shadow Heart. And finish her, please. There we go. Okay.
Still breathing, despite everything.
Oh, that's a funny bug. We killed her so hard. That's funny, because sometimes I'll get this bug in Skyrim. It's funny to see that bug here. Okay, well, we will loot the mage. And most of this, might as well take everything for now. We'll be selling most of it anyway. And check the boxes, very important. I don't think there's anything useful up here on the crane or up here around this corner. I'm checking. Oh, wait, dragon egg mushroom. Yes,
Don't mind
that
if I
will
do.
take, thank you. Ta-da! Excellent. Okay, so that was the, for lack of a better word, the easy way
These
to
boots have
fight
seen
that
everything.
particular. Oh, it's because we were in turn-based mode. She didn't have, her body didn't have time to drop. I guess that makes sense. Okay, Gale, get out of stealth. What are you doing?
Starting to wake.
Stop. Okay.
No one stopped me yet.
And dark gold. Actually, you do use a shovel later in the game, so we're going to go ahead and grab that.
No
And then
traps,
command.
please.
Okay. So this hole in the floor is actually a secret entrance into
Swift
the
as my
chapel.
feet can carry me.
Depending on how creative you want to be, you can split your party and have some of them go through this door and some of them go through the hole. Or if you're unable to get through the door, then your whole party goes through the hole. But I prefer to go in straight through the door, as I will show you in a bit, once I make sure that I haven't missed anything loot-wise. Alright, I think we're okay. Oh, just so you know, when you see patches here of water or blood or mysterious liquid or acid, a lot of spells can interact with those. Twisting vines, actually you want to be careful not to walk through those or you will get grappled. It won't do any damage, but you will be stuck until your character can extricate himself from the situation, which doesn't sound like a big problem unless you're in combat, and then it is a very big problem. It looks like we are out of spell slots for her. Gail's got a couple left.
Might as well.
We should go ahead and take a long rest and get our spell slots back. We've got more than enough camp supplies, so let's go ahead and have a nice break right here out front of the chapel. Okay, at your camp, you can take a long rest and fully heal your party. You can also manage party members, advance relationships with your companions, store items, and eventually change your character and recruit more followers. Yes, there will be some very interesting things to do while you're in camp. Later on, once we've unlocked a few more features, we're still definitely in the tutorial section. There should be a single chest called the players. There it is, the traveler's
Path lies
chest.
before me.
So this is, if you put stuff in the traveler's chest, there's two ways to take a long rest. One is actually here at camp, right? This is your official campsite where your character is resting. But you can also, when you select a long rest while you're in a dungeon or out in the wild, your characters will just make camp there. And when that happens, you won't have access to all of the contents of these boxes and the wooden barrel and stuff. You'll only have access to the traveler's chest. So you want to make sure that you're storing stuff in here that is of vital import. They also give us a couple of goodies. We're going to go into a couple of things. So if you have a container within a container, this is actually showing me how many things are inside. For example, the clothing chest has 4 items inside. So if I hit open, that's what's in it. We have the Needle of the Outlaw Rogue, the Bicorn of the Sea Beast, a Lute of Merryweather Bard, which would be great if we had a bard. We do not. And the Cape of the Red Prince, which just sounds kind of cool. So we're going to grab what looks interesting. I'm encumbered now because my Warlock has no physical strength to speak of, so we will attend to that momentarily. We also have some extra camp supplies, which we can leave them in the box, that's fine. We're going to take these potions because they are useful for oh holy crap situations. I do need to do a better job of actually using these. I confess that I sometimes fall prey to the ever popular Skyrim mistake of forgetting your scrolls and your potions for half the game. Alright, we should still be able to, by hitting the tab button, we go into everybody's inventory, and now we can divvy up all of our loot here. So we're going to, let's see, Astarion will be in charge of our toxins because, oh gee, I wonder why he'd be in charge of those, given that he is our rogue. Given that rogues like ranged options, we're gonna have him carry most of the range stuff. We are gonna give Shadowheart a light crossbow because she is proficient in that. I don't know if Gale is proficient, but we will check later. We have a number of weapons that are just going to be... We're going to be selling most of these down the line, but for tutorial purposes, it might be fun to equip them just to see what kind of bells and whistles you get access to when you use these. Potions, since she is our healer, we're going to go ahead and give her potions that heal or potions that buff. And then we can keep that in mind down the road if we ever come across a foe we can't quite best. Alright, give me a sec to fully divvy all this out. Alright, so the way we set this up is we've got some projectiles that we picked up from the nasties on the Nautiloid that we're going to give to our ranger, or our rogue, so he can throw them and blow stuff up. Our healer / tank has a number of potions to help her out in a pinch. We're going to hang on to this helmet because it allows you to shapeshift into other races. If you wanted to be a drow, a half-orc, a halfling, that kind of stuff. Not really for combat, but since we are high in deception, it is something that we can use. I don't necessarily want to equip it right now because... Oh, I'll show you. I guess it won't really show you until we get out into the world, but it's kind of cumbersome and looks kind of weird, and I want you to be able to see my character's pretty face unless we need to shapeshift. So that should do it. We found a rapier, which we gave to our little friend Astarion. He is proficient with that weapon. He'll do more damage. which will empower his sneak attacks, which will be great. We have some leather armor, but his padded armor is already that good, so we're not going to worry about that. He's got a short bow that's 4 to 9 damage. A light crossbow, however, is 4 to 11, and he is proficient with it, so we will make that switch. That will allow him to do more damage on ranged sneak attacks, which will be fantastic. But we are going to just unequip and re-equip in order to keep him in melee, because that's where he's going to be doing most of his playing. We're going to double-click on Shadowheart so that we can make sure she's proficient with this crossbow. Sometimes it is more appropriate to for everyone to be throwing out ranged weaponry. Especially if your wizard has done a particularly good job of pinning down the enemy. So you'll see as we go down, I'll show you some of the different strategies that I use to that end. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and keep Shadowheart in melee because she's the one that's going to be tanking for the most part. And then we've got our rogue that's ready to throw stuff that explodes. I approve. And we've got a number of potions. Mind reading, that could be fun. Speed. We got 2 of those. That's a haste spell. They're really giving us some fun stuff. The potion of flight. Animal speaking. Elixir of giant strength. And potion of featherfall. All of these could be quite useful. And since our wizard already has the sleep spell, I'm going to hang on to that. Okay. Alright. Well, with that said, now my carry weight is a little more under control. We're going to go ahead and move. I think we're going to hang on to the shield for now because I have plans for this guy once he levels again. Alright, let's see. So we've got one character that is ready to talk to me. Actually, you know what? We're going to go over to Shadowheart and have her give us guidance before we talk to Lael, just in case there's a skill check involved. Thank you. Just makes us a little more.
I'll see what I can learn.
So whenever you see the exclamation mark over an NPC's head, it means that there's
chatter already. Tusky.
Of course, I need to. Well, there we go. Yeah, no, we took. Yeah, I'm the one doing the talking. I don't know why it showed Shadowheart running over. Okay. Do you know much about mind flayers? It seems like the most pertinent thing to ask.
I understand much beyond your comprehension. More to the point, I know the cure for our condition. It is imperative we locate a creche. You do well to observe more and question less.
She likes to be the center of everything, doesn't she? Okay. Do you know what happens if we... I think we've already discussed that. Okay. You look so unusual. Githyanki are rare in these parts.
I expect I am your first.
Never heard of their kind of adventure. I know of the Githyanki, but I've never met one. That's fair.
Of course you haven't. They would have cut you from navel to neck.
Okay.
You are no less alien to me than I am to you. I know of your kind, but I do not often encounter them. That large, fleshy nose of yours looks like a mistake.
I'm rather attached to this large, fleshy nose of mine. Let's see. I'm tempted to just start trading insults, but this guy's supposed to be a charisma-based cast character, so really? Thanks for noticing.
It was an observation, not a compliment. No matter. I do not intend to stay long in this place.
Okay, I think that's enough. We've already discussed what happens if you don't find a cure and the bug in your head takes over.
On I go.
Lovely.
No one back home will ever
That's the
believe
character
this.
that I want. Thank you very much.
Moving in.
Okay. Still have the exclamation mark there. Okay, let's try this again.
A monster forms inside us, and you think to be idle. I knew your kind to be fragile, but I didn't foresee the severity. Be quick about your rest. We must locate a creche.
I think the practical answer seems more appropriate. We need to pace ourselves. Don't you know an exhausted warrior is an ineffective one?
A thick-headed notion in a complex circumstance. Do you suppose the parasites inside us dare to rest? That the Geich do not still pursue us with each peal of the bell? Take your rest. I will stand watch. Should a single tentacle split your skull, I will not hesitate to end you.
Well, she's a barrel of laughs. Okay, doesn't look like we have any new dialogue options. Oh, we do. Shadowheart. Ironically, she's got us guidance, so if any skill checks come up, she's buffed us to more effectively talk to her.
What were you two talking about?
We were just discussing the next steps.
I see. I'd be careful with Lae'zel.
Let's see. Yeah, might just be upfront about it. You don't trust Lae'zel?
She's not of this world. I'd be surprised if our interests remained aligned. Let's hope we rapidly find a healer.
Amen
You
to
seem
that.
reliable. I think you know how important it is that we find someone who can cure us. Best if we focus on that.
That's, yeah, agreed. The sooner we find someone to help us, the better.
Good. We might even
Some
get lucky and find one
easy
right
way to
away.
gain approval among your companions.
As I see it, we're overdue some good fortune. Rest well.
Okay. I think that is just about everything that I wanted to do. We can get to know everyone better a little further down the line. I want to get through the next stage of the fight, the next stage of the chapel, before I wrap up this video. We're going to go ahead and just chillax. It's kind of a nice touch. You notice the Astarion had his thumbs on his middle fingers as he's meditating, which is how half-elves do their thing. Alright, so we've asked Lae'zel to stay behind, and we're taking our standard 4.
Can't
We've
afford
got
to
all of
stay
our
idle.
spells back now, so we should be just about ready
wished
to
to
go.
live in
Let's
more
go ahead
interesting
and
times.
not forget this time to have the little friend put on his mage armor.
Still alive.
And then
so
we're going to
that's
go ahead
progress.
and, let's see, so we're just going to hit M, and then we're going to go leave camp. And that should bring us right back to where we started, next to some moldering corpses. I do love this cape. It doesn't give you any bonuses, but it looks rather dashing, doesn't it? Alright, so we're
Let's
going to
get on with
have
it.
our little friend give us guidance. We're going to have a little conversation
going.
with the guy at the door.
Everything all right out there?
I've got a couple of options here. We can just be upfront, let me in. Be more upfront, I killed your friends, now I'm here for you. We can do performance and try to mimic Gimbleduk. Yes, it's me, let me in. We are not proficient in performance, we just have guidance and charisma. But I am proficient in deception, which means this is why I took that particular skill. Gimbleduk triggered some trap, he needs help now. Let's see, the DC's 10, and we've got quite a few bonuses to help us out, so we should be okay. Oh yeah, yeah, we're good.
Oh, I told him it wasn't safe out there. Get inside and I'll rustle up some bandages.
Oh, this poor guy. It's gonna be a very bad day for him. Okay, abracadabra.
Who the hell's... You're dead!
No, I think I'm actually going to be doing rather well, particularly better than you in just a little second. Alright, so the reason why I jumped ahead and had Shadowheart jump in for the first
Go for
attack
the throat.
is because in order for this rogue to land his sneak attack, which does extra damage, the enemy has to be in melee with one of your allies, or you have to have advantage on the attack. So now that we've got advantage, or and melee with Shadowheart, we can do that, which tickles. And then we're going to add in a flourish as a bonus action, which will give us a little extra damage. Yeah, that is assuming we don't miss.
Give up.
We
Not
kind
now.
of missed. That's fine. I don't think we're going to have to worry too much about this fight. We shouldn't need to use any spells, at least. Do I have Shocking Grasp? That would be appropriate right here, but I do not. So let's just throw in Firebolt and hope for the best. And my hopes were dashed.
This is worth the cost.
However, yeah, just shoot him. There we go. And we got our bonus health,
Very well.
which is always appreciated. That is why we went with the Fiend Warlock. And more leather armor, that will sell well as with a short sword. Torches aren't really worth much, and neither is the bottle. However, as a half-elf, we can
No more
see in the
prayers.
dark, so I don't have to
Only
worry about
dust and
carrying a
silence.
torch around. Although it is easier to
Who are
see
those
stuff
prayers for?
if you actually light.
Normally the patron god is obvious.
Ancient,
here.
indecipherable text covers the plaque.
A dead tongue. Whoever worshipped here must be long gone.
That is part of the mystery of the chapel, is figuring out what all of this is about. Who was here? Why did they die? Are they all still dead? That's a little bit of foreshadowing there. That's what the adventurers are trying to sort out anyway. Anyway, you can see that my character has dark vision, because when I turn towards a darkened area, I can see what's going on without needing a torch. If I was to take over Gale and try the same thing...
Lovely day, this. For now.
No difference, because he's human and doesn't
Is
have
that
the proper
blood?
dark vision. So you want to make sure
never
that
mind.
there is light around for him, particularly if you're not sure if you're about to enter combat. But if you plan on sneaking, obviously, you don't want to light the candles. Because that kind of is a redundant choice. I don't know if we're going to actually need to use an ink pot, but we can actually sell it at least. They've done a pretty good job in this game of making sure various items have uses, even if some of them are rather creative or rare. The carafe of water, for example,
I'll take
allows
that.
you to spray an area with water, which doesn't sound like much unless you're using electric damage, or you're trying to extinguish fires, or you're going to freeze the water so that enemies fall over. Those are also useful. We're going to grab some more camp supplies in the form of food and wine. Anything else? We got bowl, tin plate, one water diving, a cheese wedge, lovely looter's trunk, always helpful. Alright, that should take care of all of the... Oh, did I miss one? I did miss one. There we go. Alright, so this fight here is tricky in a number of ways because it's based on a bit of a choke point. So we're definitely going to save before we try this. Okay, let's see. So this is another instance where turn-based mode is going to be a very real thing. So we're going to start by moving our warlock over here.
Trust no one.
Thief is going to be probably picking that lock if we can't get this thing to work. So
Ready or not.
put him in hide. Oh, he'll take an action to do that. So we'll activate that next turn.
Excellent choice.
Which is fine with me. So our wizard is going to be going over here, just out of line of sight of the doorway.
Time to rest.
Our warlock is
Whatever
fine.
comes,
Our tank,
I'm ready.
however, is going to be going over here. Until the next walk, she's got herself some good armor, which will be very helpful.
Looking ahead.
Alright, I think this should work. This should give us what we need. Let's see. We're just gonna. Oh yeah, we need to extinguish that brazier. There we go. All right, darkness is our friend.
Hello, you.
Open the lever, and then open the door. Or we can just use some thieves' tools.
What's next?
For that, we can just battle heart. Guidance. I just wasted Shield of Faith. Crap. Okay, let's. This is why we save. This is why we save. I'm a bit of a perfectionist. Maybe the next time I do a playthrough, having played through the entire game and having a clearer idea of what's ahead, we might do a, I don't know if sloppier is the right word for it, but more of a by the seat of our pants. But since this is a fairly challenging fight at level 2, I want to make sure I get the setup just right. And that guidance could be the difference between
I wonder what the
certain
next move
spells
is.
actually working or not. Okay, so she's going to go over here, enter turn-based mode. You know what? We could actually... Now we're just going to extinguish the brazier. Move her over here.
What a day.
Rogue goes here.
My faith
Give
protects
that
me.
guidance. Go hide in the corner. There you go.
Careful, I bite.
Go over here and hide as a bonus action. And then open the lever.
Never a dull moment.
Me with my bonus HP is going to get over here. And
Charmed,
our
I'm sure.
wizard is going to hide.
On my way.
As most squishy spellcasters can attest to. This should do it.
Close.
Should just have to wait. There we go. So the environment kicked on. It took a round for the effect of pulling the lever to work. That's because I was in turn-based mode. If I wasn't in turn-based mode, it would have opened up right away. But if it opened up right away, these guys would have very likely seen me. And I don't want that. So what we can see in here is, this is the key. You can either ignore these barrels if you want to make this a particularly difficult fight, or you can shoot the barrels and beautiful things happen. Absurd. Welcome to the party, boys. Okay, let's see. Do we have any sneak attacks? Doesn't look like that. It says path is blocked. We should still have full movement, however. Let's see. So we've knocked a couple of people down. We're trying to lure them through the front door, so we're probably better off trying to get... Invalid target path is interrupted. Can I just standard shoot this guy? Yes, I can. Okay. Let's see. If we go ahead and use our cunning action to dash, we're just going to make sure that he's out of sight so that the bad guys can't get into too much mischievous business before we're through. Let's go ahead and throw a strength hex on Mr. Torga. And then we're going to give him a nice Eldritch Blast, because not only is it hex now on strength, but I get extra damage when it's hexed. That'll help. And then... I should have saved my dash, but I have extra health, so hopefully this isn't about to hurt a lot. But we'll find out. And Ensnaring Strike did not work. That's helpful. Okay. Hex got disabled because I took some damage. Let's see. So she's my tank. She's going to be swooping in to switch with me. We're going to go ahead and use Invoke Duplicity right about here. So once bad guys come in here, she's going to have advantage on the attack, and as will our sneaky rogue. So with a little bit of luck, that will turn out quite
fancy
nice.
their chances.
Now what I'm hoping to pull off here is I want to drop a grease spot. The challenge is I don't want to drop it close to these embers or the grease will actually catch fire, which is nice for damage, but our real goal is making these guys fall on their faces. And then we're going to try and get them out of sight. Okay, so not exactly the optimal setup I was hoping for, but pretty close. Let's see how it goes. She should... oh, I thought she was going to put on her mage armor. She did not put on her mage armor.
This way.
Interesting. So you have to be careful now. Grease is flammable, so if I were to attack with Firebolt right now, the whole thing would explode. And if you want the whole thing to explode, more power to you. But right now, cannot reach destination. Okay, so we're actually going to be... We're going to use our dash action and get him up here behind the duplicity. And then he'll step out of the corner when it's time to do something creative. Meanwhile, we're going to shoot this guy point blank, knocking him to the ground. Oh, that actually killed him. Alright, sweet. And let's get around the corner. We have plenty of health potions, so let's go ahead and heal up a little bit, because I did not intend to tank, but I ended up tanking. Alright, so Ranger's on his feet, slowed because of the grease, but he will probably have line of sight on someone. Did not. Okay, this is good. Let's see. Let's go ahead. She's our tank, though. Well, I guess we'll let her do tank things. Fire! Oh, that was a good shot. That was quite a bit of damage, too. That poor guy has like 1 point of health left. Okay, let's see. Do we have... You know what? We got 1 point of health left. Let's just make very sure. Oh, the grease didn't ignite. That's surprising. Okay. That leaves us with... Jaime puts on mage armor. Well, I guess we're just going to tempt fate here and see if we can't get all the way around without falling on our butts. And, oh, there we go. Fell on our butts.
Step forward.
But if we can make her fall on her butt, then everyone's... And everyone is so not even. Okay. I did not fall on the grease, which is nice. Keep in mind, grease does not require concentration, which is very helpful. Ooh, that was a good hit. Good critical.
One can't always be a gentleman.
And... No, not when he's fire. Woo! I almost risked igniting all of this. That would be bad. We're just going to use ice, which slows her movement speed, as well as does a fair amount of damage. Oh, okay, she jumped. I do appreciate that she is smart enough to not ignite grease as well. I find that to be rather immersive. The grease is slowing us down, but we're not falling on our faces. We do not have advantage, so we'll just have to go with a good, regular, old-fashioned stabby stab. There we go. That was not bad. That went quite well. We still got some people collapsing from grease, but all things considered, we've got our loot. And we've got the barbarian and the ranger. Let me make sure that none of the bodies ended up over here. Book of Final Breath. That's not ominous at all. Got a face over here, nothing in it. Okay. Let's see, we got these 3 bodies. There's a few more things over here. I don't think we're going to need torch. Mari has some thief stuff, very helpful. Barton also has some good stuff. Okay. Thieves tools, very helpful. Okay, so to get this door open, we've got to sneak around a little bit in here. The fastest way to do that is have a little somebody give us some guidance.
What's the name?
Alright, so we're just going to check all of the books real quick, and we'll probably end up just selling a bunch of them, but sometimes you can find spell scrolls in here.
Wonder if the gods are
And if
watching
it's
me.
a scroll your wizard hasn't learned yet, then your wizard can spend some gold, learn the spell, and you can use it for the rest of the game. Which is definitely worth looting a few bookshelves, just in case. Maybe one day we'll actually sit around the campfire and read some of these books. Because, I mean, someone went through a lot of trouble to write them all, but at the moment I just feel a little hasty, because I have played this part of the game many times during early access, and I'm just trying to get to the new stuff.
You do not recognize the language on the plaque.
Mysterious. We have a plate, but it's only worth 1 gold, so I'm not going to bother.
That might be worth a look.
Helped us out with a certain door. And then real quick, we're just going to go over here. Let's go ahead and light the brazier. Just give ourselves some nice warm lighting. Okay, check and check and check. Lots of books. I don't see any spell scrolls. They used to drop spell scrolls in early access, but maybe they've modified that, so you only get spell scrolls from spellcasters, which makes sense to me. But regardless, maybe we'll do a little section around the campfire reading Baldur's Gate 3 books one of these days. Meanwhile, I just want to get to the... I'm going to move us to before the next big fight, and then we will wrap up for the evening. Let's see, we can't get through there, so our next spot is over here. Okay, we are now in the dank
This
crypt.
place wasn't built for the living.
Actually, no, maybe this might actually be the best stopping spot, because, well, we're in a new part now. We're in the dank crypt instead of the chapel. We won't need a torch.
Something good here, I hope.
Check out the gilded chest. There we go. On Death and Resurrection. We'll read that at a later date. Okay. Let's go ahead and just open these doors. Alright. This is a puzzle / death trap. We will worry about that on the next video. Alright, thank you for joining us on our intrepid adventures into the chapel and into the dank crypts. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions about the Baldur's Gate 3 as a game so far. Character builds, quests, actions, tips and tricks. I'm just open to whatever kind of additional content you guys are looking for, and I mean, there's plenty of tutorials you can find online, but if you want something specific that I can provide for you guys, feel free to ask. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I will talk to y'all later. Take care.